Kirtan, I can't really say in my opinion, because what I've been taught is the meaning of Kirtan uh, is the glorification of God. Kirtan can be in a couple different forms. It can be when we recite the glories or the pastimes of the Lord, like in the various scriptures or holy texts. This can also be considered Kirtan. It's when you are glorifying God or talking about Him. So, especially when you add music to the glorification of God, meaning we sing His names or we sing songs about Him. This can be called Sankirtan. This word Sangha means in the association or with. So Sankirtan is Kirtan, or the glorification of God in musical form in the association of other devotees of the Lord. So that is my understanding of what Kirtan is. So when I personally engage in Kirtan and singing the Lord's names, this is in the association of other devotees or other people. So we each have a part to play in the Kirtan. We all need to contribute our voices and our heart and our minds and our attention to make that Kirtan successful, because Kirtan is calling out to Krishna, calling out to God by singing His names. So it's more powerful and more effective when we are all together doing that in unison. When I am personally leading a Kirtan, this means I'll lead the melody and then other people will respond. I'm not so advanced, really. I am just trying to do this as a service. So me personally, I try to think of those people who have inspired me to do Kirtan, those whose Kirtans I've been in, who I felt were very powerful. I try to meditate on them. So for instance, for me, one person that was very powerful in their Kirtan impression on me was Ayendra Prabhu. And so when I personally lead Kirtan, I think of him because I would always like to be in his Kirtan, and I would like to hear him singing. So what we can do is we try to meditate on those people who are closer to Krishna or God than us. That's how we can approach Krishna. Through our own means and through our own desires or attempts, we can't reach Krishna or approach Him. But through those who have dedicated their lives completely to reestablishing their relationships with Krishna in a very serious way, those people we should try to have their association and meditate on. So in Kirtan, we should approach the singing in this mood where we are meditating on the Guru or the teacher, someone who is showing us the way. And from there, you can go on and try and meditate, on Krishna and His pastimes as you sing. But mostly, I personally just try to remember that I am not the doer. I am not the controller of the Kirtan. It is the holy name. It's the name itself in the Kirtan that controls the outcome of the Kirtan. So I can just pray to be of service. This Kirtan leading is a service to engage all the devotees around me, or all those people who are participating to engage them in chanting. And in that way, maybe the holy name will be pleased and make that kirtan, effective or powerful. So some people may wonder, is there any format or set way we should lead kirtan? Is there any particular melodies or tunes we should be singing at a certain time, or according to this and that? Is it strict or not so strict? My understanding from Ayendra Prabhu is how he spoke was that there is definitely much to be taken from the classical raga format. These ragas are actually personalities, and they are given to according to different hours and times in the day. So one raga, their particular time may be 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if each raga will evoke a special mood, some type of mood. So if you sing it at that time, and you sing it properly, then you may be able to evoke that mood in the people you are singing it with, who are singing it with you. But in Krishna consciousness, it's meant to be spontaneous. When we are doing any devotional activity, not that it's random, but that we're doing it with our heart. So if we are feeling at a certain time inspired to sing a certain melody, then there's no hard and fast rules. Ayendra Prabhu said during the Rasa Leela dance with Krishna, the gopis were singing unlimited amounts of ragas, and this was in the middle of the night, but they were singing all different ragas for all different times of the days, and singing all different melodies and tunes, because it was coming spontaneous with love. So as a kirtan leader, you can try to be sensitive and be aware of who your audience is or who's participating with you. Depending on the size of the crowd, you can try and be aware and choose a melody that might be more suited for them. Or if you're with less advanced musicians or people who don't do kirtan as much, you try to sing something that is more simple, that they can follow easier. Or if you have the support system, you can sing something more complicated. But my understanding is there's no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy name or the melody you choose for kirtan. And the main thing is to do it with love. So, as I was saying earlier, I personally, and we all should, always view this kirtan leading as a service. Earlier, one Prabhuji, he was giving a lecture yesterday, and he was speaking. Someone glorified him, thanking him for his lecture. So he explained that it's actually a very important point for us to understand whenever we are doing any service for God, for Krishna, that we are never actually doing it ourselves. We're never by ourselves. Any activity we're doing is for the pleasure of Krishna. So, without Guru, without the teacher, our attempts are useless. So, the activity of leading kirtan does not happen without the mercy of the Guru. And any other activity. He was explaining, anything I'm speaking in this lecture is only through the mercy of my Guru, my teacher. Like, I've learnt from him, and he's passing it down, and I'm simply speaking what I've learnt. So in the same way, kirtan can be viewed like that. Kirtan leading should be viewed as we are not the doers. I explained we cannot control the kirtan. The holy name decides the outcome, and he decides, Lord Krishna, the holy name decides whether or not he will bless that kirtan with his presence, whether or not he will be dancing on our tongues. So, like I said, it's very important to always view this as a service to Guru, to the devotees, the assembled people who have come to chant, and ultimately for Krishna. And because this is the Yuga Dharma, this chanting of the holy names congregationally, it pleases Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is non-different than Radha and Krishna. So that should be our goal always, is whatever way we sing, just try and remain humble, and just try to appreciate that you're not the cause of, of the devotees' ecstasy or happiness. They're experiencing something in kirtan due to the mercy of the holy name, not because I'm singing in such a way, or the melody, or this and that. Somehow they are feeling something that you don't have control over. You are not the controller. Krishna is the controller. So just try and remember this point whenever you're leading kirtan. So this is my first Germany Kirtan Mela, first time I've attended a Kirtan Mela in Germany. I visited this wonderful temple, Golokadhama, last year for Radhastami, and I got to participate in that festival, doing kirtan, etc. So it was very nice. But in particular, chanting for 3 days, 12 hours each day leading up to Janmashtami was very wonderful. I really felt, like it was big enough, but also yet quite intimate, that we sat in the kirtan and we could look around and get to know the faces that were there. There weren't too many people that it was overwhelming. After the first and second day, and you felt like, okay, we're all a family, and you see the familiar faces in kirtan, and you calm down and you get settled, and really you can just try and enter the chanting in an immersive way. So I really felt the enthusiasm from the devotees. I was very surprised. Sometimes I would sing maybe a so-called complicated melody, but I found everyone to be chanting loudly and wholeheartedly, and I really much appreciated this. So I'm very appreciative of Sachinandan Swami for spearheading this or pushing this forward, and I'm very happy to have been invited to come and attend this Kirtan Mela and been able to chant with all of the devotees over 5 days, pretty much 5 days of non-stop glorification of the Lord. Thank you.